Hey, this is Miko, and this video is an introduction to F&I Finance Office for car dealers. And one-on-one, I just wanted to put together something that could be applicable to just in general to almost any car dealership because F&I could be set up in a lot of different ways. We're talking about different states with different laws. So again, something more introductory for when you're a new finance manager, or maybe you're trying to get the job and want to learn ahead of time, just need some ideas, struggling. I hope that this is something that will help. A bit of an introduction. From my background, I did F&I for a fairly short term. It was just a step on the path to management, which I successfully did in the end. I was not the best finance manager. The best finance manager we had at the dealership was a guy that did the job for decades. Um, was very slow, and again, the best is subjective, but we're talking basically profit per deal or average profit per deal, PVR, and in the end, um, his income. So again, I was not the best at it, and I was not really committed to it. But when I started, I learned as much as I can and tried to put a system for myself in place that allowed me to be uh, decent, somewhat successful. All right, so let's get into it. First things first is your paperwork. So paperwork is important for a lot of reasons. And this is, customers actually think that this is the biggest part of a job. I want to take it out of the way. It is important because paying attention and taking care of your paperwork will make this job easier, will make it easier for you to make money and just do everything right. Why is it important? It affects registration. You don't want customers coming back or calling you with issues, or your clerk, DV office, pushing paperwork back because you just missed something, did not dot the I's, the signature was not right, some numbers are off. It's important for funding. Banks could be very strict on specific numbers. You would think it's not important, but a lease agreement that's off by a few cents can be sent back, kicked back. And if you don't pay attention, it's gonna take your time. It's gonna frustrate you, frustrate the customer. A lot of calls and paperwork back and forth. Um, it If you make mistakes, it'll trigger resigns, and we'll talk about ethics later. But it'll be like very tempting to just fake a signature, which is a huge no-no, definitely something you should not do. So the other option is to make the customer to come in to resign, or beg them to come in, or pay them to come in, or you'll have to go to their work or office to have them resign the paperwork, and all of that because you missed something, because you didn't do your job right. So come just pay attention. Sometimes slow down if you have to. We'll talk about slowing down when it's okay, when it's not okay. Learn ahead of time. Prepare your things so it just does not is not going to affect your work just because you're sloppy. And I'm guilty of this. If paperwork was a hard part for me, and but at the end I had to learn. I learned the hard way, but by the end my paperwork was great. My funding was on point. I did not have any contracts in transit. It was all fine. Okay, internal. So internal communication, just the relationship between you as a finance manager and the rest of the team. First of all, work with your accounting and clerks. We'll talk about rapport a lot, but just being on good terms with your team and not being, oh, I'm the manager and you do, your job is to do the paperwork. Take care of them. Treat them like people. They're going to help you. Sometimes they'll catch your mistakes. They'll help you fix mistakes and just make everything smoother. Uh, have a relationship with your salespeople. Now you're the manager. They don't tell you what to do. You're not on the same level. You're on the same level as the sales managers, or maybe even higher, because you have the final say on the paperwork. But still, it's important to have a relationship so you help them, they help you. They will prepare your customers. They will give you tips on how to proceed better, what kind of customer that is. They will sell on your behalf if you take care of them. And management. By management, I mean sales desk, sales managers, closers, GSM. Again, you have to work as a team. It should not be a fight sometimes. I've seen it many times where finance managers are literally, well, not literally, but act like prima donnas. They take forever. They act like nobody will tell them what to do. And then what happens is salespeople resent them, and they can literally sabotage your work. They can coach your customers not to buy anything from in the finance office. Definitely not something you want to have. Okay, so we get into the actual job. And the biggest part of this job is building rapport. Building rapport is very important for all sales jobs. It's important for a lot of, you know, relationships, but in sales and especially for finance, it's extremely important. Why is that? Well, if I'm a salesperson, I met a customer, I spend 5 minutes just chatting with them, 5 minutes showing them the car, 20 minutes driving the car. But now with 30 minutes, we spend a lot of times together. 30 minutes, you can learn a lot about a person, and you start to just feel more comfortable with that person. Maybe the customer is coming back, so they already know each other. Maybe it's a repeat customer. For you as a finance manager, this is a brand new experience. You have to learn to build rapport on the fly, and this is what's going to make or break you. You either learn rapport, or you're going to have to resort to some shady techniques, or you're going to fail. There's just no other way, the way I see it. So a few tips just to start. Your attire. What do you look like? You have to think this through. You cannot be sloppy, but also you don't want to wear a Rolex and the $5,000 suit because it just sends the wrong impression. um, Shave. Like it doesn't have to be a suit or a tie if it's not required, but just a nice professional attire, not too intimidating, uh, but looking just likable, right? And research certain things, try different things. For example, what do politicians wear? How do politicians dress? Why is it that most politicians, male politicians, shave? Because people like more apparently shaven people are more trustworthy or whatever. If you're a woman, um, also you have to find the perfect way. You don't want to be wearing anything suggestive. Also, you don't want to be too serious, but just something that's friendly and welcoming and creates a good atmosphere. That's the perfect attire. Your office. How your office, what's going on? Definitely it's got to be clean. That's the first thing. It's got to be clean, no paperwork laying around. What do you have? Do you have pictures? Do you have pictures of your family on the walls? Do you have any statues? Do you have anything in your office, some maybe show your personality, something that's welcoming? I work with one finance manager. She had like almost, it was like a shrine. She changed the lighting. It was darker. Uh, there was music, like a ambience, like a spa music, and there was like some waterfall. It was just like you walk in, you feel like you're in the spa and just relaxing. It was great. Amenities. So make sure that there are amenities that you can offer from the dealership, coffee, water, that restrooms are available. Take care of, like, this is your house. Restrooms are not your responsibility, but if your customer goes to a restroom before going to the office and it's dirty, it's going to impact you. Um, if if possible, have a fridge. Invest in your own little mini fridge, some just sparkling water. Um, it doesn't have to be anything fancy, but something that's from you that you can induce a little reciprocity by giving them a refreshment. Candy. Candy is really simple, but just have some candy on your desk. All right, so those are the small things. But now, with rapport in mind, we move into other stuff. And the first thing and really important part of the process that I would recommend every finance manager to use and incorporate is customer interview. Here's why it's important. So first of all, as I already said, you have to build rapport on the spot, on the fly. So if you just got the deal, the customer just said yes, sales manager finalized, put together the paperwork, you got the deal, now it's your job, right? If you walk out to the customer, say hi, introduce yourself, ask a few questions, then you're going to leave them alone, go to your office, finalize everything, maybe get the deal approved, submitted to the bank, do a few things. But then when they come back and see you again, they already know you. It's incredible how those small things can psychologically affect the relationship. Another thing, what's going to happen is that, so yeah, customer rapport, it builds, customer interview is going to build rapport. Another thing, by perfect customer interview will be done hopefully on some kind of tablet, like an iPad, that you have something built in. There are a lot of companies that offer this software. We use Darwin. I know Autify, Car Now. I mean, there are plenty of companies. The actual provider is definitely not important, but it's good if you have a software that's built for them. So if you have that software, you're going to have a tablet with a few questions, multiple choice questions. It's going to start with just confirming information. Hello, Mr. Customer, Mrs. Congratulations on your new car. I will be doing your paperwork. First of all, first I wanted to congratulate you, and then I wanted to make sure that I have the information correct so we don't have to redo the paperwork. Is this how you spell your name? Great. Is this the correct address to register the car to? Great. And then you go into your questions. And the questions there will be simple questions, but they're questions like, um, how many miles do you think you'll be driving? Is the car going to be parked outside or in the garage? Will it be mostly work or just like insurance companies ask? So is it going to be for work or for leisure? Is it going to be mostly highway or there be kids in the car? Things like that will allow you to customize your offer, something that you're going to offer the customer later. And then when this is the information that you got from the customer, hopefully you listen to their answers, and it'll allow you then when you present it or maybe even deal with objections, you'll be able to say, well, you told me that this is how much you're going to be driving and the car can be parked outside and we live and there's hail, so maybe that's why you should consider some kind of coverage for that. And just going back to build rapport, it, one of the most important things that I learned overall for sales, and I have a separate video for that, the importance of asking questions. Customer interview is you're asking questions from the customer. It allows for a couple of things. It allows the customer to express themselves, and people love talking about themselves. It also will allow you to maybe to grab on something and to elaborate, ask clarifying questions, questions that will allow you to know that customer better. That again goes back to building rapport. All right, so you got the deal, you met the customer, you introduced, you already know each other, you have the interview that you know what you're going to work on in building your offer. Then there's the question of wait time. So the wait time is extremely important because like when there are customer satisfaction surveys, most the biggest sticking point in customer experience and why this job might actually go away in a couple of years is the wait time for finance. How long does it take? So first of all, what can you do about that? Well, you can be prepared, like I said before in the beginning, be good with your paperwork, have stuff ready so you don't have to search for forms. Um, but then just psychologically, minimize the wait for the customer outside. If you do have to prepare some things, if it like your process, maybe it's not your fault, it's the dealership process, it just takes longer than you hoping for, it is better for you to spend this time with the customer in your office rather than the customers waiting outside. Not all time is the same, right? Time can fly by, or time can feel like it's just a torture and that you bore it out of your mind. So, uh, like airlines and airports know about this really well. Why do you think sometimes it takes so long for you to walk from one place to another, to like from entrance to your gate? It's because that it's you don't feel that time. But if you get to your gate right away and then you sit and wait forever, then it feels like a torture. So same in this experience. You don't want customers sitting in the waiting room hearing somebody yelling in the service department and talking, even worse, talking between themselves, talking about, oh, what kind of deal you got, what kind of deal you got, and just building just negative things in their mind. Much better for them to be in your office while you're preparing the paperwork. They get comfortable, they're drinking maybe coffee, and you do maybe a little chit chat. Hopefully, you can manage just a little bit of um, what do you call it, multitasking, that you can just do a quick chat and prepare what you need to prepare. And yeah, you prepare your paperwork together. Um, like you can ask the customer, let's just confirm one more time that's the address. Let's confirm that these are the terms I want to send to the bank. You work and you're on the same team. And in the end, if it actually, again, I want to be careful with this. You don't want to keep the customer at the dealership longer than it's necessary. Again, this is important for the whole experience. But you do need to build rapport. Maybe you didn't get to do the interview. So it is okay sometimes to stall. And I spoke recently with a guy that did finance for a long time. And he told me that a lot of times what he would do, he will restart his computer and he would tell the customer, like, welcome, come on, sit down. I'm really sorry, but I had to restart my computer. It just like reset itself or it crashed. So it's just going to be a couple of minutes. Then you wait together for the computer to reboot. While the computer is rebooting, you do a little chit chat. You confirm the information. You ask about the car. You just a little bit of another. It's every second that you have to build rapport is important. And we have to get these seconds when we can. We have to use them properly. Properly mean ask questions, ask clarifying questions, and keep building that rapport. All right. So next we're moving to the second most important thing on the actual finance job. So one that's specific to finance is the customer interview, and the second one is menu selling. And menu selling, it's kind of like what it sounds like. Instead of having going through your offer, so usually what offers the finance has? Warranty, maintenance program, and some kind of insurance, let's say tire insurance or whatever. So old school, finance manager will say, well, you should get warranty for your car. We have the warranty for that many years, and it's going to cost $2,000. Should we add this? And then it goes back and forth, and then we move to maintenance, and then we move to something else, right? Instead, you build a menu. Again, there's a software. There are a lot of options for the software that you can get that you can present as a professional option, and those will be basically packages. And packages will be 3 to 4 packages, definitely not more than four, and something like three standard package, like basic, standard, VIP, and then maybe the fourth one will be custom. And custom will be built based on the interview that you did, and you can set it. This is based on the information you gave me. Or maybe you can say or use AI. You say like the software that we use or the AI agent created this custom for you. This is what's recommended for you personally. And what it does, first of all, like I always, I'm a huge fan of alternate choice. You're not asking, this is the warranty, do you want it or not? You're asking, these are the options for coverage. Which one do you think will work best for you? And notice that zero or nothing is not going to be an option. Of course, a lot of customers are going to say that, and we're going to deal with that as an objection. But again, this is a simple psychological trick. Is it manipulative? A little bit, but it's definitely not as bad as what a lot of dealers still do when they just sneak stuff in and hide it from customers and pack in payments. So this is acceptable. Customers know how this works, and uh, this is just an easy way, non-confrontationally, to offer them something and to increase your chances of customer protecting their car and getting something helping you increase your profit. So 3 to 4 customizing package. Um, it's kind of important, I believe, that like the highest package, the VIP, will be like in bold and it'll be expensive, right? Don't be shy for being expensive, because this will anchor the price. This is like same reason why a lot of dealership that know what they're doing will have the most expensive car right up front. So when the customer comes in and sees, like I remember from my dealership, $120,000 7 Series BMW, they look at it and they're like, "Whoa, that's expensive." And then they look at the 3 Series that they came to see, and it's only 45,000. So I'm like, definitely doable. All right, so you're presented your manual. Most of the time, what's going to happen? A lot of, any customers that go online, everybody will tell them, well, don't buy anything, just refuse everything. So you're going to get objections. And I'm not going to, there's a whole subject on it, but a few things on objections. One is no confrontation. Don't fight with the customer. First thing when they give you an objection should be, I understand and I agree 100%. Totally. You're absolutely right. Yes, this is expensive. Yes, this is a reliable car. You might need blah, blah, blah. Just agree with everything. Then you move to isolate and clarify. What does it mean isolate? Means you say, well, I understand, yes, the price, it is expensive. Let me ask you this. If price was not an issue, would you, is this something you would be considering? Or is there anything else that's preventing you from getting this? And clarify, again, like they might say, well, I never get insurance. I totally understand. A lot of people decide to self insure. And just let me clarify. When you say you never get insurance, you don't have medical insurance either? Just something, just clarify, get the customer to give you more, give you something to go off. From that, or together with that, you pivot to more questions. Just get them to talk, get them to clarify, isolate, and give you more something to talk about. And then once you isolate it, once you got something, and maybe um, repackage, or maybe you change the price, or maybe build a custom package for the customer, or go get a discount from the manager. But again, you go back to alternate choice. You don't ask them, so now would you get this package? Now you again go back to alternate choice. And another thing is that be ready for those objections. You're gonna know, and you even if you never did finance, you can figure out what customers gonna what objections will be. Write them down, frequently ask them questions, objections, and script and practice how you're going to answer. And again, definitely not confrontational, something that makes sense, something that's logical, so you can try again. Don't beat the dead horse. You get an objection, you do 1, 2 attempts, they push on everything, just move on with your life. And the last subject is the ethics of it. So this is very tricky, and I'm not going to get into details of it, but a couple of things. One is um, don't lie to customers, don't hide things, don't fake signatures and fudge the paperwork. First of all, you want to sleep at night. Okay, this job, I mean, yeah, there are finance managers that make a lot of money, and a lot of them some of that money is not coming the right way. So is it worth it? Maybe for them they feel it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it. It's also not going to worth it because you could get in trouble. And finance manager, that's like almost like a legal officer. You can get in serious trouble in terms of like you will lose your job with the dealership, but you can also get in trouble like legal trouble. They can go after you, and if customers like recorded the conversation, have something that you said that the dealership's not going to stand behind you, then there are legal depositions. Just stay out of trouble. Keep your dealership out of trouble. Okay, um, customer satisfaction surveys. Finance is a sticking point for a reason, so keep them out of trouble. Customer reviews, reputation management. You own the team, right? You own the management level. If you want to move ahead and become a GSM and GM, this is your business, right? So keep it safe by keeping your ethics in check. And just this is just a practical reason, but chargebacks. Um, Finance managers that sneak stuff in, use the fact that maybe people don't speak English well, maybe intimidate and bully them into signing stuff. It comes back. People come back. People charge. People cancel their product, and first of all that money that you got, it's going to be clawed back from you because chargebacks for finance office will happen. Also, it's going to take your time. It's going to be a lot of frustration or from the customer, from you, from management, sales office. I mean, salespeople. It's not worth it. So it went a little long. I hope it was useful. If you have ideas, want videos on something else, hit me up, like, subscribe, all the good stuff. Thanks a lot.